How many of us want to do extra paperwork? I didn't think so. All right, to anyone out there who may be a solopreneur, small business owner, just trying to become financially independent, or even start a nonprofit, we may not have any need for sizable business loans, federal grants, or skeptical investors trying to win them over by showing them our wonderful formulated plan, right? So to anyone in that category, writing out a full business plan, it may seem like an unnecessary formality. So let's explore the burning question, do I even need a business plan? We're gonna go through some pros and cons here. Let's start with the pros. First off, clarifying your mission and focus. Writing out a business plan is a great way to gain clarity on what you're actually all about, what you're trying to do with this next project or venture, and clarity is the secret sauce of success. So this is a huge benefit of going through the process of actually writing out your business plan. Next is assessing the feasibility of your idea. Going through this process, answering a lot of the questions that a business plan brings up will help you to determine if your idea is sustainable and financially sound for the long term. Developing a strategy for growth. Getting your ideas out on paper and actually having to write them down and put them into words is really beneficial for determining where you're going, being able to see the path to get there, and then remembering all of those steps so that you can work towards them. Define critical milestones. Setting some goals and milestones will help you to steer your efforts and also allow you to be able to measure your progress and success along the way. Figure out financial needs. As you go through this planning and strategizing process, you're likely to uncover certain things that are going to need some sort of funding. Adding all these things up and getting a good idea of what kind of financial needs this is going to involve is a really great way to prepare yourself for what's coming. Research your market and competition. Get to know who else is operating in your space and how they run their business. You definitely don't want to copy anyone, but do your research and try to understand things that are working versus things that are not. Understand your audience or customers. Define who your ideal audience or customers would be and how you can reach them. Study their needs and interests in order to help guide your messaging to attract the right people. Find investors and lenders. Now, I started off by saying a lot of us don't need sizable business loans or federal grants or things like that, but in some cases you may want to have investors or loans. They're most likely going to want to see a well laid out business plan to know where those funds are going and to make sure that that's going to be financially beneficial for them as well. So having this plan is important for that. Get future employees on the same page. If you decide to expand and hire a partner or a whole team or a whole huge enterprise of people, sharing your business plan with them, or at least some parts of it, will help to clarify things for them as well so that they can understand what this business is all about and where you're trying to go with it, so that they can get an idea of what the future of this business looks like, a future which they're now helping to create. Develop contingency plans. A business's success relies on the ability for that business to adapt to an ever-changing world. And I think we can all agree on that after this pandemic that we all just went through. By writing out your goals and strategies, you can start to think about some of these what ifs and have some ideas in place for alternative solutions or different paths you can take if things begin to change. Brainstorm future opportunities. Perhaps you have some ideas that you want to do later down the road that aren't quite as essential to begin with, to start off with. You can write these down and have a place to remember them so that you can come back to them later. And finally, commit to your business intentions. While a business plan itself cannot actually hold you to your word, putting the time and effort into creating this document actually shows a new level of commitment, and it may even subtly encourage you to stick to your endeavor. Now, of course, it wouldn't be fair to just go over the positives, to just go through the pros, so we're going to go through the cons next. First off, it takes time. Time is precious and we have to prioritize it, of course, and this is going to take time. However, after going through that whole list of pros, can we admit that maybe it might be worth it? It takes thought, yes, and quite a bit of it. But as I mentioned earlier, clarity is the secret sauce. We have to know what we're doing and how we're going about it in order to actually get there. You may have to learn some of the formatting and things to include. Most of us probably don't have any formal business plan writing training, so we are going to have to learn what kind of things to include in the business plan, look up some formatting ideas, and all that kind of stuff. And there are numerous resources online, but honestly, if we're just starting out, even just having the basic ideas down is the most important thing. And of course, research is required. Research may not be everyone's favorite thing, but taking the time to do it now will be very beneficial to understanding your market, your audience, your customers, your strategy, your finances, all that kind of stuff down the road. All in all, there are loads of benefits to writing a business plan, even if you're not going to show it to any investors, and there are also tons of resources to help you get started. And real quick, I'll mention this one, How to Write a Business Plan. This is a pretty sizable book all about business plans, so if you want to really go in depth with it, this is a great resource. It's in the NOLO series. They have a whole bunch of legal reference books that are really accessible to non-legal types. So if you're looking for more in-depth, this is a great place to start. But there are also a ton of resources online, and I'll be developing some here at the Ramen Phase as well to help you get started. But for now, remember that business plans don't have to be as intimidating and complicated as they may seem. And especially if you're just doing this for yourself to clarify things, really just getting your ideas down in some sort of format that you can reference later on and build on as you go is really a great first start. So I encourage you to give it a shot. Just sketch out some of your ideas, write it down, forget about all the fancy formatting for now, and just get started. If you decide to formalize it later, at least you have something to work with, you have something to start with, but you're at least starting to get that clarity and those ideas down, and hopefully build yourself a path and a strategy to follow moving forward. I hope this was helpful, and I hope it inspired you to maybe start writing down some of these ideas and get a little messy business plan going. There's going to be a lot more content on this channel, and you're always welcome here. I hope to see you in the next one.